Ang TNC po ay nakikiisa sa sambayan ng Pilipino para sa isang mapayapang bagong Pasko.
Ang bagong Pasko ay simbolo ng bagong pag-asa. Ito ay isang pagkakataon upang ating mapagnilayan ang mga kaganapan sa ating buhay.
Ang diwa ng bagong Pasko ay hindi mararamdaman sa mga palamuti o karangyaan sa ating kapaligiran, kundi sa alab ng pag-ibig sa ating mga dibdib.
Lahat tayo ay nakaranas ng hirap nitong taon na to. Dahil sa pandemya, nawalan tayo ng oportunidad. Kahit na anong mangyari, pinipilit pa din natin makapagbigay ng saya sa iba. Yan ang diwa ng bagong Pasko.
Para sa akin, ang bagong Pasko ay hindi concerned sa handaan o sa mga regalo. Sharing, giving, taking care of each other. Sana simula ngayong bagong Pasko, ganun na lahat tayo.
Maraming salamat po sa new channel, Maligayang Pasko.
Christmas is always a reminder to have an attitude of gratitude. And that means sharing the love and appreciating everything that matters to you.
Christmas is a celebration of life.
And let us all be grateful that we are enjoying God's gift of life.
Ang bagong Pasko ay simple at payak, nakasentro sa ating pamilya at sa ating Panginoon.
I want to remind everyone that we should treasure the connection that we have. We have our friends, our family, and of course, Jesus Christ.
Para sa akin, ang diwa ng Pasko hindi nagbabago kahit kailan. Ito ay panahon ng pagmamahalan, pag-iibigan. Walang makakatalo sa pagmamahal na binigay sa atin ng Panginoon.
Maraming salamat po, The New Channel, Maligayang Pasko.
Ang tunay na diwa ng bagong Pasko ay hindi lang paghahangad ng mga regalo o mga bagong bagay. Ito ay ang pagpapahalaga sa mga bagay na meron na tayo at ang matutunang ibahagi ito sa mga nangangailangan.
Maraming salamat po, The New Channel.
Dapat din natin tandaan ang totoong diwa ng Pasko, si Kristo Jesus. Noon, ngayon, at magpakailanman.
Ang bagong Pasko para kanako, dili ang masigarbong pagsaulog, kundi ang pag-ambit o ginabang sa mga taong mas nanginahanglan ng panahon sa pandemya.
Ang diwa ng bagong Pasko ay ang pag-iingat sa ating mga sarili, pagiging ligtas sa kapamakan, at pagpapabuti sa ating kalusugan.
Maraming salamat po, The New Channel, Maligayang Pasko.
Maraming salamat, The New Channel, Maligayang Pasko.
Ngayong bagong Pasko, isabuhay natin at maging saksi sa kaganapan sa Belen.
What does the new Christmas mean to me? It means reconnecting. Reconnecting with the people you love, the people you care about, the people you have not spoken with in a long time, that always made you happy.
We should never forget, Christ is still the reason for the season.
The new Christmas for us is focusing on the basic unit of society, which is your family, and virtual togetherness with friends and relatives.
And of course, sharing your blessings to others in need.
Celebrate Christmas with full of gratitude.
Maraming salamat kay E13.
Ang Pasko ay tungkol sa pagmamahal mo sa pamilya mo at pagiging mabuti sa kapwa.
Christmas is the season of giving, but you cannot give if your hands are closed. So open your hands and your hearts and give. And your open hands will receive so much more.
Maraming salamat to The New Channel, Maligayang Pasko.
Christmas is the season of giving. It is best spent with our families. But let us not also forget that this is the celebration of the birth of our Lord Jesus Christ.
Para sa akin, ang diwa ng bagong Pasko ay ang pagkakaroon ng mas madaming oras para sa ating mga pamilya.
Maraming salamat The New Channel, Maligayang Pasko.
Christmas is always about sharing and caring, loving ourselves, and loving others.
Ang bagong Pasko para sa akin, malayo man tayo sa isa't isa, ang pagmamahal ay atin pa rin maipadarama. Maligayang Pasko po at manigong bagong taon sa inyong lahat.
sa labi mo'y naglaon na. Ang iyong tuwa at saya napalitan ng kaba. Itatanong kung may pag-asa pa. Ang hamon ng panahon ngayon, tayo'y pinaglayo ng pagkakataon. Ngunit ikaw nag-iisa, huwag ka ng mga lamba. May kasama ka kahit nasan ka pa. Malayo man malapit din, ang Pasko'y darating pa rin. May luha man may pipiliin, basta tayo'y magkapiling. Sa mundong nagdidilim, tala niya'y maglilinig. Ang pagmamahal sa puso mo, ang diwan ng bagong Pasko. Sabihin mo ang bagong umaga, sa pagkakatapay bumangon ka. Sa Paskong darating, pangarap ay tuloy pa rin. Kapayapaan ang maghahari sa atin. Malayo man malapit din, ang Pasko'y darating pa rin. May luha man may ngiti rin, basta tayo'y magkapiling. Sa mundong nagdidilim, tala niya'y maglilinig. Ang pagmamahal sa puso mo, ang diwan ng bagong Pasko. Kahit na magkalayo, ikaw ang laging nasa puso. Kahit nasaan ka pa, tama pa rin ang pagsinta. Ang pagsinta, malayo man malapit din, ang Pasko'y darating pa rin. May luha man may ngiti rin, basta tayo'y magkapiling. Sa mundong nagdidilim, tala niya'y maglilinig. Ang pagmamahal sa puso mo, ang diwan ng paglayo man malapit din. Ang Pasko'y darating pa rin. May luha man may ngiti rin, basta tayo'y magkapiling. Sa mundong nagdidilim, tala niya'y maglilinig. Ang pagmamahal sa puso mo, ang diwan ng bagong Pasko. Pagmamahal sa puso mo, ang diwan ng bagong Pasko.
The new channel. The new channel.
The views, opinions, and insights expressed in the following show are those of the hosts, producers, guests, and viewers, they do not necessarily reflect the position of the channel. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the new channel. Here to help you see the new you. My name is Bob, and this is the Fort Project. Hey, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Fort Project, where we talk about money, business, and life live tonight right here on TNC, the new channel. My name is Bob, your host for this evening on a great Saturday night weekend right here in Dubai, UAE. It is the 26th day for the month of December 2020, a day after Christmas, and I hope you had a good one last night for those of you celebrating Christmas. And for those who does not celebrate Christmas, well, I hope you still had a good one last night with families and friends. And well, good evening, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are watching the podcast, the stream at this time. Hello to you, and thanks a lot for being here on the show. And I hope that everyone is safe and healthy as of now, as we gear towards the end of this year, 2020. We got a few more days to go before we hit the new year, which is the January 1, 2021. And we're still on the pandemic season. And we are somehow getting used to what we have as of now, as of the moment. All right. This is the episode 13 of season 2 of the podcast right here on the Fort Project. Episode 13, season 2. Wow, we are actually a long way from where we started. All right, now this time is very timely because my guest is somebody who's in the digital marketing world, which is this is what we use nowadays. I mean, it changes the way we consume social media, internet, and all of that, internet related stuff. So just give you a little bit of a backstory of my guest this evening. A college dropout who pursued a career in graphic design, which lead him in the digital marketing industry, and is now helping people by educating them in the field of social media marketing and management. 5 minute at a 5 minute at a time by his podcast show, 5 minute social media tips with Neil and Facebook community social media marketing Philippines. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome on the show Mr. Neil Dimapilis.
Hey guys. Hi Bob. Hey Bob.
Hey buddy, what's up? Good evening. How are you? How's everything? How's Calamba, Laguna?
Everything's good. Everything's good on my end. How about you guys?
I'm good. We're in the desert, but now it's weird because it's cold in the desert right here in the sandpit, Dubai, UAE. But we're good. We had a fun time last night, celebrating, I guess, the salubong for this day, the 25th. That's what they called it, right? Salubong 24, and then going to the 25th. We had fun. We did exchange gift in the house, so with the kids. So it's good. It's all good. What about you?
Everything's good actually on my end. Me and my family actually celebrated as a whole during our so-called salubong nga. And
Right.
everything, or basically we just enjoyed a happy simple meal all together. We just celebrated each and everyone's presence, especially in this time of pandemic. It's really very hard for us to believe
Exactly,
or to
exactly.
be with other people as well.
Exactly, exactly. Well, it's nice to hear that everybody's doing good on your end. But okay, so let's dive in really quick on you. What do you do again? Social media marketer. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah. Actually, I do
Social.
social media marketing and social media management.
And I think, especially nowadays that we are still in the pandemic season, it changes the whole dynamics of how we consume internet, social media, and all this platform that we have nowadays. Because like my previous guest on the show on the podcast, that people are now taking social media and internet and streaming and YouTube and all of that platform seriously nowadays, right? Compared to the pre-pandemic days, that we use social media, internet every once in a while. But now this is the main medium how we communicate, how we actually do business, how we start getting around in this time of the crisis. So yeah, tell us about how did you start from the beginning. How did you start in this career or business?
All right. So I started as, or let's just say, as you've given the brief already earlier in this talk, I dropped out of college. This is, I think, way back around 2015 or 2016. Then, as a frustrated graphic designer, as a frustrated graphic artist, I just tried to enroll, or I just tried to teach myself how to do graphics instead. So from self-teaching myself from doing graphics and watching videos from YouTube, I requested a bunch of photos from a bunch of my friends for me to practice. So I messaged them, or personally messaged them, asking them, "Do you have pictures that you may want for me to vector or illustrate so I can practice?" So I think that was around, I gave myself at around a week or two for me to practice. Then from there, I charged a very minimal fee. I think I charged at around 250 pesos per illustration. Then from there, I landed my first corporate job. I mean, fast forward in after, I think, 4 or 5 months, I landed my first corporate job at the Dessert Museum. The Dessert Museum is basically an Instagrammable theme park here in the Philippines that's located in Mall of Asia, or in Conrad. So I was part of their digital marketing team. I was their social media manager, or community manager, so called. So I stayed with them for 3 months. Then after that, I did a little bit of freelancing, handled a few clients here and there. Then I got into corporate, actually. Then I stayed with that corporate, or I stayed with that company for 2 years and 7 months. And that's where my field of, or my knowledge for digital marketing has grown, actually, because of that company where I used to work.
Now, 10, 15 years ago, it's not a thing, right? When you say social media manager, digital marketer, it's not a thing a decade ago or 15 years ago. But did you get somehow a negative or not so okay reaction when people ask you, what do you do? And you say, I'm a social media marketer or digital marketer. Did you get like, come on, get a real job, dude? Did you get a response like that?
Actually, no, I haven't gotten any responses like that, or any negative response in terms
Really?
of
That's good.
asking what I do. In terms of them asking, I just follow it up with a very simple explanation of how I do it. So, for example, people ask me, "Oh, what do you do?" or "What's your specific job role?" So I
Mhm.
say is, "I'm a community manager," or "I'm a social media manager." So they would follow up with a question. So what's that? What do you do? So what I would say, or what I would explain, is basically I would be the one who manages or handles the a company's or a business's social media pages or social media platforms. So if, for example, you would message a certain Facebook page or a certain Instagram page, I would be the one to respond those messages. The only thing is, you wouldn't know that it's me, because on your end it would appear that it's as if the brand is responding to you.
Right, right. Okay, that's yeah. Now it's now clear to put it that way. But yeah. I think now more than ever, it's now a strong and a viable option for companies and businesses to actually advertise on social media. Before, like I said, 10, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, maybe, we don't have social media as a tool for marketing. We only have print ad, billboard, radio, TV, radio ads, and magazine. I think, but now it's getting more popular and popular for people to actually use social media. So it's something that is now, you know, like I said earlier, people are now taking it seriously, and it's a good because you have, you know, young people, young entrepreneur just like you, who's actually crushing on the market nowadays. Now, uh, after the corporate job, you tried to start working for yourself. Am I correct?
Yeah, actually, I tried to start a, let's say, not a small agency, but let's say to create a name for myself as a whole, just to jumpstart a, let's say, soon to become small agency. Though it's something that I see for long term, though it's
Right.
just that I cannot yet execute it because of there would, for sure, um I know business people would relate to this. There are certain plans that there would be certain hurdles or certain um problems along the way. So ika nga po natin here in the Philippines, if there's no problems, then you're not succeeding in life. Diba? Kasi puro magaan lang or puro happy-happy lang.
Exactly. Now, being you in being in the social media world or field, let me ask you because you said long term. How do you see, from your standpoint, how do you see social media within the next coming 5 to 10 more years?
Actually, with the pandemic, so post-pandemic, people are being more, let's say, engaging actually. People are being creative, people are executing other types of content in terms of creativity. They're being unique in terms of what they put out. But during the pandemic, more of video type contents has been rolling out, especially if you've noticed, there has been a boom in terms of using TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, personally, I'm one of the bashers, or I'm one of the haters before of TikTok, just because I really can't understand why people would do those dance challenges.
Mm-hmm.
But after digging deeper and deeper into TikTok, people are really using that platform to share their knowledge or to share what they know or to add value to other people, which is something that is very good in terms of using or optimizing social media. And that's something that people nowadays should really know about, that social media should not just be used for entertainment, that and social media should not just be used to kill time, but social media can be used as a tool for you to earn money.
Exactly, exactly, and again, now more than ever, we've seen small, medium, and large businesses diving into the social media for the marketing, right? And now, not just thriving, some business are really crushing it on that area. Some business are really booming, especially now that it's pandemic. The food delivery, what else? Vloggers, influencers, editors. So, you know, the whole spectrum of social media and video or everything that is online content. It's now doing really really good. Now on that part, since it's pandemic, still in the, you know, in the world. Now, you said that you wanted to you tried start. I mean, you tried and start to work for yourself. Now, tell us about the process of that. Why did you? What's the pivotal point? Why did you think that, okay, instead of me working for somebody else, since I have the knowledge, I have the skills, why not work for myself?
All right. So actually, that type of thinking kicked in earlier before pa when I was before before working in the corporate world. I got to watch a video. If there are viewers here or who are familiar with Bobby Hundreds, who is the founder of the Hundreds, who is a local streetwear brand in the US. There's this video here on YouTube that he said that or he was asked by his mentor, that do you want to be 40 years old and spend the entirety of your life regretting that that what you did is something that you did not love, or something into that context? And that hit me. I mean, I was still young. I was still young back then. I was still a dropout. But at that age, or at that time when I heard that, it really sparked something in me that I want to spend the rest of my life, or I want to spend at least a part of my life doing something that I love. So fast forward, when I was working in corporate, or I was when I was working for a company, I adapted that mindset. So in the morning, if I would have a 9 to 5 job, I would work for that company, and at the end of that, or after that working hour, from 7 p.m. onwards, I would work on myself. I would invest on myself. I would try to research. I would try to close clients for my personal use. I would try to, as much as possible, elevate my personal, let's say, rapport or portfolio. Because at the end of the day, we all want to be financially free.
Exactly.
Hindi naman natin na we would live paycheck from paycheck to another paycheck.
Right.
That's
And of
something
course,
that,
we're going to be talking about, yes, Neil, we're going to be talking about more of that because this is going to be exciting. This is for people of people who's actually watching and maybe listening, or maybe on during the replay later on. If you wanted to, if you're sick and tired of your boss, your company, your salary, your job, this may be for you. Season 2 of the podcast, right here on TNC. This is episode 13. And of course, what I have here, or who I have here, the Neil Dimapilis, social media manager, telling us his knowledge about the whole industry this pandemic season. So this time, I'm going to be taking a short break, and we'll be coming right back with more. It is weekends right here in the Middle East, Dubai, Saturday night. It is the 26th day again for the month of December 2020. Of course, again, your host Bob here, live on TNC, streaming all the way from the Middle East, United Arab Emirates. And of course, this is the Ford Project, where we talk about money, business, and life. Tonight, I'd like to invite you guys to watch, follow, and share the stream. Follow and like the page of TNC. All right. So speaking of which, we'd like to invite you guys to a whole lot of different programs on the page. We have starting from Mr. Lloyd Luna, who's actually on season break as of now, but the big picture is also right here on this page. We have from HR, from family business. We have Usapang Beauty, talking about properties and how to manage them, and buying properties and owning a property. We have After Shift. We have Women at Work, and a whole lot. So you can watch different programs and different hosts on this channel right here on this page. And you can also check us out on the Instagram. And by the way, we are simultaneously streaming and broadcasting tonight right here on Facebook and on YouTube. All right, so back on the show, episode 13, season 2 of the podcast tonight right here on a fabulous Saturday night weekend. It's Neil Dimapilis. Now, talking about transitioning from being an employee to being an entrepreneur, social media manager. All right, so Neil, you heard that from a video that, okay, why not start your own business and do what you like for the rest of your life instead of working for somebody else? So that actually hit you to why not? Why not? I have the skills, I have the knowledge to. Now, what are the processes that you did not expect in becoming an entrepreneur during the process? I mean, during those times.
Actually, one of the processes that I didn't expect was, number one, it would need a lot of effort in terms of expanding or having a very broad net of clients or prospects in terms of pitching what you want, what service you want to offer to them. Because yes, there are a lot of clients here and there, but finding the right clients and knowing what types of services that they would be really needing from you, that's what's really challenging.
But now, internally in your personal, internal like dialogue or inner dialogue, what are the things that comes into your head during those times? Okay, I'm gonna do this, but it takes, like you said, it takes a lot of hard work. And what are the learning curves during those times?
Okay. Actually, I've learned a lot of things in terms of doing, or I mean, from the part of that I want to establish my own small agency, or that I want to start my own brand. There comes that I have enhanced, or I have to enhance how I talk or how I speak to other people. Because, for example, if I talk to, or if the way I talk to my friends is the way that I talk to people for business, it wouldn't work. If the way I treat my friends is how I treat my clients or how I treat my prospects, it wouldn't work as well. If they don't see me as someone who is serious in the field that I do, I wouldn't be I wouldn't be that of reputation in terms of the field or industry that I'm trying to implement on, or that I'm trying to build a name on. So
This is what I always talk about, Neil, during one of my many talks, that you need to really invest in yourself, which means you need to grow. You need to grow how I mean, every knowledge that you can get as from this point on, building your own brand, building your business, and try to be an entrepreneur. You need to add more information, awareness, values, and maybe wisdom to becoming the person that you would like to be. Because that's just how it is, right? I mean, it doesn't happen overnight, and it doesn't happen just like that. That in just one snap of a hand, you are an entrepreneur, you are in business, you are successful. This is what I want people to understand, that it takes a whole lot of hard work for you to be in the direction that you want it to be, right? So, are there a lot of rejections during the process? Rejections maybe from, I don't know, family, friends, clients, or negative words and thoughts from noise from the outside, basically.
Actually, surprisingly, there weren't any negative noise, or there weren't any negative feedbacks surrounding me. But there were, I mean, it came to a point that it was really terrifying, because the moment that you don't hear any feedback, be it a positive feedback or a negative feedback, it's something that's going to be troublesome. It's because it has that feeling or that lingering feeling that inside of you, you know that there's something wrong that's happening because no one is giving you feedback.
Mm-hmm,
Be it
mm-hmm,
from your family, be it from your closest friends, or be it from the people you work with.
mm-hmm,
So from
mm-hmm.
there, or from a personal aspect, that's where I try to, as much as possible, I would educate more on what I would re what I would what I really need to do, or what steps that I would be needing to take. So the more that I excel, the more that I would move forward. The opinions come in, the suggestions on what not to do and what to do come in. So the more that you add value to yourself, the more that you increase your knowledge, or the more that you implement on things, the more people would see value and the more people that would contribute on that as well.
Since we're talking about the transition from being an employee to being an entrepreneur, we're still discussing struggles. Now, was there a point in time that you doubted what you do and you just wanted to, maybe I'll just quit and go back to being an employee, or just work for somebody else? Was there a time which it did cross your mind?
Yeah, actually, um, it's a lingering thought in my head actually. Though up to now I'm still employed, but that mindset has never left my body as well, or it has never left my mind. The only difference is before, when I start to think of those things, I would be discouraged, or I would just, let's say, in the terms of Filipino, bahala na. Or the usual, bahala na si Batman, di ba? And just drop the shit and move on.
Right.
But now,
But
the difference from then and now is, for example, in starting my own podcast, I've learned that adding value to other people is way more rewarding than earning money from other people.
yep, that's
And
very
as
true.
well as with the Facebook community that I started, Social Media Marketing Philippines, encouraging people or educating people who want to be more knowledgeable about the digital marketing industry, especially in the field of social media marketing, is really rewarding as well. Because you see educated people doing um, more and more, let's say, authentic content and authentic strategies, rather than purchasing pre-owned Facebook pages, doing bogus scams on social media. They learn on how to properly use social media, and that for me is very rewarding, rather than earning from them, or offering them master classes, or offering them short courses and earn from them as well, for just for them to be my students. I would like to be in a mentorship standpoint
Hmm.
and add value to other people as well.
Hmm. Now, one more question before we get into actually to my next break, Neil. You said you worked for a company before, and then after work, you from 7 o'clock onwards, maybe 12 or 1 a.m., you start the hustle and the grind for yourself. Now, it's I mean, it's very taxing in terms of time, wherein a lot of people would say, I don't have the time, I'm busy, I have work, this is not in my line of work. What can you say about the people who always say, I don't have the time and I'm busy, wherein you're able to do it?
Honestly, this is something that I've quite, or not quite. This is something, or this is a mindset that I picked up with my former boss. Actually, we all have. Every person in the world has 24 hours. It's up to us on how we use those 24 hours. If you choose to scroll on Facebook just for leisure, I would choose to earn from using Facebook. Um if you choose to kill your time from watching Instagram stories, I would use Instagram stories for my clients, for them to earn money. So from there, that should be the mindset, that social media should not just be used as for leisure, but it should be a tool as well for you to earn revenue. And
I like that. Very, very smart on using 24 hours in social media. And of course, since we're talking about social media, my guest tonight on season 2, episode 13 is Neil Dimapilis, a social media manager expert on this field. And of course, this time we're going to be taking another break. When we come back, what are the rewarding facts when you start your own business and become a boss and become an entrepreneur? When we come back, so please stay tuned. And once again, we're back. Thanks a lot. This is the Fourth Project, where we talk about money, business, and life. And we are discussing social media marketing as of this episode. And this is, like I said, this is what we have nowadays during the pandemic. We're trying to do business online. We're trying to sell products online. We're trying to communicate online. And we have a whole lot of different communities that are actually now being really active in streaming, podcasting, video content creation. So, well, before we continue, Neil, do you want to say hi to anyone as of tonight? You want to do a really quick shout out before we actually continue?
Yeah, I just want to give a huge shout out to my family, sa mga friends ko, close friends ko, to my girlfriends, Jessie.
Did you say
Yeah.
girlfriend?
Yeah, to my girlfriend.
You have two?
No, I just have one.
Just kidding, buddy. All right, so hello to each and every one of you guys. Thanks a lot for being here on the podcast on the stream tonight. So, what are the nice things, the the good vibes of being an entrepreneur, being working for yourself, and in the social media world?
So I think in terms of being the biggest or being the greatest perks of working as a social media manager, especially in the world of or in the time of digital, is you can work anywhere you want, because since everything is done digitally, be it you're in your room or you're in a beach house or you're in the province, as long as you have a stable internet connection, you have that liberty to work anywhere in the world.
Yeah, I like that. The mobility. You're not just, staying in one, typical four-cornered office, right? I like that. I like the idea. And I guess most people would want to do that as their career, and the main income stream is, you travel. And we've seen a whole lot of, I'm not sure if if there are legit, but we've seen a whole lot of commercials on Facebook, on YouTube, that this is what I do. We travel around the world and we earn money. So yeah, you've seen that, but there are some out there that are actually legit, that they work online and they can travel, like you said, as long as you have your laptop, your stable internet connection. So yeah, one of the many things is being mobile anywhere you are in the world. You can work. Yeah. What else?
Actually, being just in the now is very rewarding. Actually, that being with your family, having that liberty or having that freedom to be with them is rewarding as well. Because if you're, or I think most of or everyone would relate actually with that because everyone's working from home or majority of the people right now are working from home. That we have that liberty or we have that freedom to wake up in the morning, spend some quality time with our family, talk it out over breakfast, and that's something that can be done as well if you're an entrepreneur, if you want to start up your own business. It's something that you if it's something that you love or it's something that you want, and I think it's something that you should just step in and take that risk. Right. If you want to start up your if you want to start up this business, if you want to start up this brand, or if you want to start up this, let's say, just a non-profit organization, just take that risk and jump and start it up. Yes, there are precautions. Yes, there may be losses, but those losses or those those failures will be the stepping stones to your success eventually in the future.
Neil, you said risk, which for us entrepreneurs, we know that it's a risky world for being an entrepreneur and being a businessman. But if I'm an employee and maybe I wanted to make that jump and transition from being an employee to being a businessman, um, w- the risk factor, because somebody might say, how can I be sure that it will really work, I'm going to be successful, or how can I even make it to a point that it is going to be sustainable in the long term? Because I'm scared, Neil. I'm scared of the risk, and I'm not an entrepreneur. I don't have the background, but I wanted to do it. What can you say for all those people who would kind of jump, but they're really really scared?
Okay. For those who want to take that jump and you're afraid of what might happen when you do that, what I would recommend is something that I did before is when I was still working or when I used to work for this company, what I would do is the salary that I got from them is what I used to fund my, let's say, side hustle. So, for example, I would need to meet a possible client or a probable prospect for my side hustle. I would use my funding or my salary to fund that. So, for you guys, for those who have jobs, use that money or use your salary to fund something that you want to do for long or for good or for long term. Use that money to fund your passion. Let's just call it a passion project for now. Since it's just gonna be small, it's something that you just want to do it out of passion, be it um let's say be it a small business that sells, let's say, graphics, or that sells framed artworks, be it a small Facebook shop that sells out pastries, be it a small Facebook store as well. Actually, this is a recent guy that I just met via Facebook as well. He sells bed sheets. But there are numerous, and there is a very broad niche or very broad market in terms of what you want to do or what you want to sell or what you want to offer in terms of service to other people. It's just up to you on how you would fund it.
Right, and that's very very true, Neil. This is what we always advise for people who'd like to start in business. I know it's scary, and you're afraid and you're scared to take that jump. What we usually say is, start small. We're not gonna ask you to um, produce, half a million or 1.5 or 1.2. No, okay. Start small. Always start small and work your way up and learn the values and the mindset of being an entrepreneur along the process. The most important part is you have to start. All right, it's not getting ahead, it's getting started. All right, now more than ever, everyone is being an entrepreneur online. Everyone is trying to learn how to edit, how to splice videos, how to create content online. And I think it's a good thing that like I said on my recent post, smart people are now getting more smarter. But of course, the dumb people and the lazy people are, just waiting to, pandemic to end. And I don't know. I mean, sad part, but true. There are group of people who's like that. But anyway, so yeah, start small. That's what we always advise people to actually, if it's a partnership, if it's a collaboration, go for it. What is the worst thing that could happen, right? What is you don't have anything. I mean, not much, a lot to lose, but everything to gain. That's what I would like to put it, right? Not much, a lot to lose, but everything to gain. The knowledge and the skills, and the wisdom that you can get from being an entrepreneur. And the good part here, or the sad part, and the good part is, no one's gonna ask you. In the employment world, the boss said, okay, email this, send this, and then you you produce the PO. But if you're an entrepreneur, you have to actually ask yourself, on a daily basis, that okay, I need to get up at 8 or 6 or 7 maybe, and then I need to talk to people. I need to book a meeting for myself, and that's part of being an entrepreneur. Now, before we actually let you go, Neil, what are the I would say, along the process of this, and you're still on the process of this, what are the parts of you that you'd like to improve more in becoming an entrepreneur?
Parts of me that I would like to improve more as an entrepreneur or in this process would be me being consistent in terms of the habits that I would like to be, or that I would like to establish in myself. Before, I used to wake up at around 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. And kickstart on things that I would like to do, or do a quick read, or just, let's say, allot that time to, let's say, gain knowledge from watching videos or listening to podcasts. But there came to a point that I would wake up at around 6 a.m., sometimes 7. I know for some people that's still early, but to me personally, waking up at 6 a.m. or waking up at 7 a.m. is a bit late. And that's something that I want to improve on more. And that's something that I found very helpful as well in this journey that I'm in. That having that proper body clock, or adjusting your body clock to what you want to do, or what you want to achieve in life, really helps a lot. Because if you start your day early, you tend to finish a lot of things, and you have a lot of excess time, or you have a lot of liberty at the end of the day to do whatever you want.
That's very true. Very true. Consistency is one of the many, many keys in being successful. And speaking of social media, I heard from Beth Patrick Johnson, one of my, I would call, online mentor. Go to your the history of your, let's say, Google Chrome or whatever. Go to your history. If you find that 90% of what you watch and read are purely entertainment, you will never ever be successful, and you will never ever be rich, because you just want to be entertained. Now, if you look at the history, and it's more on research, skills, reading stuff about being in business, being an entrepreneur, well, then that's the only time that you're going to be really successful, maybe in life, and eventually wealthy and rich. So if you're watching this, start looking on your Google Chrome history. What did I watch and see for the past, I don't know, 30 days or 60 days? It's very, very important. You have to be really consistent in what you do. All right. So moving the needle, maybe 1 inch from this part to this part, 1 inch closer to your dream, to your target, to your destination. All right. And of course, Neil, thank you for being here on this episode, and it's nice to have you here on the show. But we have a couple of minutes more to go before we actually let you go. For people who has a whole lot of excuses, pandemic or not pandemic, people who are lazy, what tips can you give, if we may, if we may give them tips on this crucial, darkest 2020, year, what at least I don't know, top three that you can impart tonight before we actually wrap it up for this episode. What are those?
Actually, being lazy is really something that I do not see as a negative. Or personally, since I was really a lazy student, if it's something that you, what I would recommend is find something that you love, or find something that sparks joy in you. If be it in gaming, be it in cooking, or whatever, as long as you love, as long as when you do that certain thing, it's something that gives you joy, you find inspiration, or you find that certain spark when you do that, choose to do that every day and remind yourself why you're doing it in the first place, because that would keep you motivated. Once you forget the essence, or once you forget the reason why you started doing this thing, or why you started this, let's say, passion project, why you started this small business, that's the moment where you lose your vision. That's the point wherein you would lose that fire. That's wherein you would go back to where you once were, where you, nung nasa kama ka na lang, tatambay ka na lang.
Mhm.
Wala, ganun na lang. You'll end up just being lazy again.
Right. So find what actually excites you, find that thing that makes you happy, maybe, and start from there. Start small, like I said, start small. It doesn't have to be really big or really extravagant. Start small. If you have your camera phone with you and you want it to be an influencer, vlogger, whatever you want to call that nowadays, you can do that, and you can stream. I don't know, yeah, like you said, gaming, podcast, talk show, anchor. You want to be a radio DJ, especially nowadays that there's a whole lot of apps that you can actually start. We have a whole lot nowadays. All right, so this is what the internet world is actually offering, so might as well utilize them wisely as we move along to gearing towards the next year. And one final question, Neil, before we go. For There's a lot of people who's, I don't know what I want to do. I'm 45, I'm 35. What can you tell them? I'm not sure why I'm here in Dubai. I don't know why I did work abroad. I'm here for 7 years. I don't know what my passion is. What can you maybe advise and give a little tip before we actually go tonight, for those of you, I mean, for those people who's having a difficult time, having a hard time to actually find that passion. What can you tell them?
That it's never too late, because in life, really, it's not a rat race, or life in general is not a race that you have to outwin every person that's around you. You have to see that every people around you has, or let's say, they're living their own life. You don't have to see them as competitors. You don't have to see them as someone that you are in a fight with. So if you want, or if you're thinking of starting something, and you think that it's late, or it's already late for you because you're at this certain type of age, remove that mindset, because that will only just hinder you in doing that thing. That will just hinder you in starting up what you want to do. And the more that you hinder yourself, the more that you will regret, and the more what ifs that you'll ask yourself as well.
I like that. Very, very beautiful. You're not in competition with other people. You are in competition the person you see on the mirror. So it's your journey, it's your run. All right. So nobody's actually competing with you but yourself. So you have to be better from yesterday comparing to today. All right, so I like that. Very beautiful, very powerful. And again, thanks, Neil, for being here on the show on this episode 13 of my season 2 right here on the Ford Project. And of course, before we let you go, for people who would want to get in touch with you, message you, and maybe talk to you on social media, where can they reach you? Go ahead, please.
You can reach me at facebook.com/NR Dimapilis. And on Instagram, you can message me or DM me at Instagram.com/Neil Dimapilis. And you can also search me on Spotify. That's 5 Minute Social Media Tips with Neil. And you can also join my Facebook community. You can just search for Social Media Marketing Philippines.
All right, Neil Dimapilis, season 2, episode 13 on the podcast. Again, dude, maraming salamat. Thanks a lot. And of course, it's nice to have you here on the show. And you stay safe, okay?
Likewise. Thanks, brother.
All right, there you go. Wrap it up for tonight. But before that, I'd like to say hello to all the people who's actually watching the episode tonight. And if you're watching, or if you're going to be watching for the replay, hello to you. And good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. All right. If you're celebrating a birthday a day after Christmas, hello to you. Congratulations. And thanks a lot for celebrating it with us right here on this episode. And of course, this show is being presented to us by Puzzle Box BPO, sponsored by the Manila Times, Step Back, and of course, Philippine Association of Professional Speakers. And this has been your host, Bob, right here on The Ford Project, where we talk about money, business, and life. Live tonight on TNT. Until next time, good night.